Alright, we are live. Welcome to the stream, Drooler, my fellow caster, my man, my swole champion. How's it going?
Thank you, thank you. It's going really good. Honestly, looking forward to what's coming up this weekend. And I get to cast alongside one of my favorite people to ever play Among Us with, which is Tax. Which is going to be
Awesome.
fun.
Yeah, can't wait. I mean, I'm so happy, by the way, that Tax is back in the community. Like, that guy was a
I know.
legend, and he was immortalized through his videos that he then took down. It was as if he died briefly, but then the ghost of Tax was resurrected, and he's back as a caster and better than ever. Built different.
Yeah, because I'm happy he's back. I was happy I honestly was very happy for him that he got alive. But now we all like, no matter where we go, we all just like take a full U-turn and just come back to Among Us. So it
Yeah,
is.
it's like the better part of the pandemic. You know that the pandemic has ended, and now the best part is that the players are back.
Yeah, it is. Also, the community has evolved a lot. Well, evolved is look, I said this yesterday in the ranked hangout when we were watching your interview with Homework and all of them.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say evolved in a good way, but I wouldn't also say evolved in a bad way. It's changing though. I'll just say that it is changing a lot. A lot of new players, a lot of new different play styles. People have to adapt, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this tournament goes.
that
Hopefully,
that's
some
totally
new
fair,
players
right?
come out of
And
it.
it's going to be new blood, right? Like, this is actually a very healthy thing for the community. Is having a lot of fresh perspectives, new people coming in. Believe it or not, it's not just about proving to a small set of people that you are the quote unquote best, but it's more about the fun part. You
Yeah,
know,
I
like,
agree.
what do you want to be remembered for at the end of the day? Just like a number, or like how you made a bunch of friends and like made an impact on the world and the people.
Um, See, I see where you're coming from, right? But there's some people who, well, something I heard them say yesterday in the stream, which I do agree with, is some people are genuinely here to improve every single day, and some people are here to just, I don't know, just have fun. You know what I mean?
Totally,
Um,
yeah. And I think both perspectives are valid, right? Like, some people are about
yes.
growth, some people are about,
However,
yeah. So go ahead.
no, no. However, I do think a healthy balance of both is necessary.
Definitely.
Because if you're in here with just the okay, so I did this. I did this back in MMR. Looking back at how, because I was watching a few VODs the other day, looking back at how I used to react, how I used to speak. It was very condescending towards people in terms of like gameplay, and I don't necessarily agree with that. So
Right.
I think like you need a healthy balance to be able to know that how to behave in certain situations. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And
So
we've
like,
all been there. Like, everyone has talked down to someone, but when I look back on those things, those are not my proud moments.
uh, I don't know. It really is not a proud moment because I was looking at some of the VODs and I was like, okay, stop being a douchebag.
Right.
But it is what it is. You know, like you live and you learn. But as I was saying, it needs a healthy balance. Like, okay, cool. You need to come in here with a mindset, like a winning mindset. Like, okay, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna do this to improve. But you also need to, like, at the end of the day, just make a good time out of it. You
Yes.
know, not just necessarily come sweat it to the point that you just get off pissed and not wanting to play again, and then the same day, the same cycle. I don't think that's very healthy because I was
Exactly.
in that
Like,
cycle.
what are you getting out of that? You're just going to feel bad, and sure, you might get a little bit better, or you might even make people around you slightly better, but you're not going to feel good at the end of the day. And, like, if you're just going for, you're playing this video game strictly to improve, but not have a good time, then why did you invest all this time into something that doesn't make you feel good?
I don't know.
This is ultimately a hobby at the end of the day, and it is fulfilling to become a master of your craft. Like, developing a lot of skill is certainly rewarding and validating, but it can be pretty lonely if you're just like, you know, sure, you sit on your throne of high MMR, but no one actually wants to hang out with you. Like, this is ultimately a social deduction game, and social is an operative word here.
So I'll give you a very good example of this is uh, I can't use myself in this example because I don't know how people perceive me to be, but I will use someone who I played with, and I've had a love-hate relationship with this person. Odini, I'm not sure if you've heard of him,
I've heard of him.
but Odini, I did not like in-game and out-of-game. I'll give it to him, he was good in-game, but because of how toxic he was,
Yeah.
I preferred to not even like converse with him really much out of game. And if it was anything happening out of game, it was probably him and I just arguing about something or going head to head. That's
Right.
all it was. So I do see like where you're coming from. It's like you need to be approachable, and you need to have like a sensible mind as well to like be approached. Because I did something I'm not very proud to say about to talk about, but it is what it is. There was a player by the name of Cleanup. Not sure if you've heard of
I
him.
know Cleanup. Yep.
Yeah. He went from Polaris to MMR.
Yep.
Comes
I remember.
and I think in his first week in, it wasn't his fault. It was him and like another crewmate that threw the game. But because of how they didn't understand how the gameplay was, and it was so easy to deduct who the imps were. But because they didn't do that, I fully violated Cleanup and was just going down at him, to the point that the next day someone told me Cleanup left the server and did not join MMR again.
Oh
after that
no.
because of how much I yelled at him. Yeah, he went back to Polaris. And I felt really, really bad.
Yeah.
But I will be very honest. From that point onwards, when MMR took a break and we all went to play in Polaris, he was so much better than what he was.
Yep.
And I'm
Yeah.
not going to say it's because I yelled at him, but I'm not going to say it's not because of that. So I don't know where he improved. I don't know.
So I think it is double-edged. Like when you yell at someone, you make it very clear to them that this is extremely important, so they know the stakes are high. So it can have this like baptism of fire effect, where they realize, hey, this is important. If I want to keep playing here, I need to raise the standard. But it's also very discouraging if they're so new and your expectations are way too high. And there is a gentle way of delivering the same sort of gravitas in your message. Like, if I think you threw the game very hard, I can say, your behavior cost the crew the win. And here's exactly why you failed to meet expectations, right? Like, you can phrase it in a very respectful way and then give them sort of the feedback that helps them learn and grow without sort of using slurs, without criticizing their appearance, you know?
No. So the thing is, it had nothing to do with out of game. Never criticized their appearance. However, obviously we had to throw a few slurs in there. But so what I think it was is, so me playing in MMR for such a long time at that point, and playing it with people who, I'll be honest, I joined MMR in season 3. I'm talking now about season 9. Season 3, I got shit on so much in terms of like yelled at, in terms of I wasn't up to par with how good they were at that time, that I took a break. Like, I genuinely didn't touch Among Us. Not because of that, I just became a mod in the server and like I was just running it, whatever. So when I eventually came back, I was just much better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like you play a lot more, you become. So because of how I knew I improved, I got yelled at, I got pushed to my limits, and then being stuck in that same mentality day in, day out, and being stuck in that same routine of playing with people who yell at we yell at each other on a daily basis. I think it just became a norm. So when I did it to clean up, I didn't expect it to be taken to heart or for him to...
Right. You became used to that. You felt it would be expected and normal, and it's fine. Yeah. It's fine when you all know each other and can trust that there's no ill intent behind it. But for someone new to the scene, it can be really damaging.
Exactly. And that's where I lost track of that. Is I thought it was the norm because I got so used to it.
Yeah.
So me doing it wasn't intentionally to harm him. It was more of to voice my frustrations.
Right. It was the meta, but you didn't realize that this new person wasn't familiar with the meta.
Pretty much.
Cool. So this is actually a fascinating discussion on sort of the health of the community and all that. I just want to table it to talk about a very timely issue, being the tournament that we're co-casting coming up on Saturday. That's just 3 days away. I don't know about you, but I definitely do not feel prepared. I've never cast a tournament before, especially with hundreds of dollars of prizes on the line and hundreds of players. So yeah, go ahead and give your thoughts.
I've casted tournaments. Not Among Us, never an Among Us tournament, but I've casted tournaments before. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. So here's what I said yesterday in call. I don't think the winner of this tournament will be someone that anyone really expected to take
Yeah.
it. I feel like it will be something random happening,
Yep.
something crazy happening, and then someone no one really expects takes all of it home. Like I genuinely believe that.
So we could do a prediction. What do you think about like a a prediction of who will win the tournament with a prize for whoever guesses it correctly?
I can't give you a name just yet. I need to run through the database to see who's playing exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to say names because, for example, I could sit here and be like, oh, I think Tom is decent. I've played with him a few times. I think he's good. He could play. Yeah, he could win. But yesterday I found out Tom's not playing, so I don't particularly know who all are already in. So once I have that list and I know who's in, might be able to give you a prediction.
Well, we should
far,
like, this is homework for us, is get familiar with who the players are in the tournament, because we're going to be talking about them on stream.
Yeah, 100%. But so far, I know I said expect someone random and not like unexpected to win it. Until I find out who I'm talking about exactly. So far, I have X. X is one of my favorites, honestly, going to this.
Yeah.
And that says a lot because I'm not a big X fan.
X was the first guy I interviewed.
Yeah, I'm not a very big X fan. But when it comes to tournaments, he pulls up. Like I know he pulls up, and like
a lot of people have stated that he's very good at the game. Not necessarily someone you enjoy playing with, but very good at the game.
Back in the day, X and I butted heads a lot. This is when I was playing Among Us a lot. So me saying I genuinely do think he's good now is so unbiased because I'm not a big fan of him as a person, but I do think he is good. I think he's really good at the game.
Yep.
And so far, he is one of my favorites going into this. Like, genuinely,
that's great. Look, what an amount of growth, and maturity from you. Someone that you don't necessarily even like, but you respect enough to give a vote of confidence.
Yeah, no, 100%. I do think he is one of the favorites going to this. And I said it to Tom as well yesterday when we were watching your stream with homework and everything and the whole MMR Notice game came up. I said to Tom, I was like, Tom, I don't particularly know you. I've played like 1-2 days with you. I'm not like an avid Tom enjoyer. But I will say, out of those like 2, 3, 4, 5 games I've played with him, I can guarantee he's top 5 crewmates in the server right now. Just based off how he plays, I could just easily say that, right?
Right.
And I think that's something a lot of people in this. Sorry to get off topic, but that's something a lot of the people right now in this server or in Among Us don't particularly know how to do, is to put their biases aside to admit when someone is good or not good.
Right.
I think that's something a lot of people like. I love homework. Like I came up with homework, love him, but homework genuinely might be one of the most biased people I've seen, and that's just how it is.
What do you think are homework's biases?
What do I think about? Wait, sorry, could you repeat that?
What is homework's bias?
So if he's particularly really close with someone or likes them, he would rate them higher than other people in terms of tier list, in terms of him saying, all right, this person's a better player and so on. And I have, like, my proof of that is him throwing Spoon so high up in the tier list. Spoon is good. Spoon and I are right now, but Spoon is good, but not as good as Homework perceives him to be, or like puts him up to be. Yesterday, for example, Homework throwing up his top 3 crewmates of all time. And then he was like, oh, I think Tax is better, for example. And then Spoon saying Lucid is #1. I genuinely think that's all biases. I've played with Lucid, I've played with Jay. I would put Jay #1 crew by far. No one ever comes close to that. Lucid is not as good as Jay is in crew. Like, Homework putting Tax up in there, like, over me. This might be my ego speaking, but I don't think that's particularly true.
I mean, any tier list is going to be subjective at the end of the day.
Exactly, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think that's particularly true. However, it differs from person to person. I could sit here and all like for example say all day, oh, Bricknick is the best Among Us player I've ever played with. Someone else could have a very different like impression of you saying, oh no, he's ass. Do you know what I mean?
Of
It's
course.
it's just how people like playing with you or how they perceive your playstyle to be. So,
Right.
but I still think Homework is one of the most wise people around. But I still love him though. Much love.
Good talk, good talk. All right, so let's come back to the tournament. So thinking about like what are our goals for the casting team? What experience do we want viewers to have?
I think I genuinely think as a caster, like we need to pique their interest. You need to have them like on the edge of their seats at all given times, and you need to speak about. So I was talking to Tax about this as well yesterday. Is we need to make it so engaging that you're drawing people in rather than just people like because someone could just deafen the stream and just listen to music and watch it. You don't want people to do that. You genuinely want them to be hooked and listening to what happens. So you'd want to talk about all different play styles, what for example the specific imposters at that point could do to win that specific game, or I don't know, it just I guess we'll have to see how it goes, right? But you
Right.
just need to pique their interest and keep them on the edge of their seats. I think that's like generally the best thing to do.
So what do you think about doing like a practice cast of just other people's random streams from Twitch of just random Among Us games to prepare for the tournament and then just practice hyping that up?
Are you talking about right now?
Not right now. Right now I've got to get ready for work, just like you said you have to go. I'm saying between now and the tournament, I think it'd be good to get the casting team together, which is you, me, Nate, and Tax. Figure out what does a joint stream with us look like. Do we want to have like a panel of us? Do we want face cams on? How are we going to coordinate? You know, we need to set up sort of a chat or a server for us to talk to each other. We do have the tournament server and sort of DMs and all that sort of stuff. But, you know, having a plan going in and figuring out like, okay, how do we handle the stream delay? Because players have a 20-minute stream delay, whereas we'll be casting live in real time. So the results will come in and sort of the next game will have started, and then we'll be looking back at previous games. And we need to know which lobby to jump to. There might be like 10 lobbies, and someone needs to be like researching which lobby has interesting stuff going on right now. We have to have a list of all the players and their associated Twitch streams, and then set up the multi-Twitch. Like there's a lot of sort of planning and preparation that needs to go into this.
Yeah, exactly. You need to go into this fully prepared rather than just come on that day and be like, all right, cool. But when are we starting? I don't think that's the right way to go.
Right, exactly. Like, if we are unprepared, then not only will we not have bandwidth to even cast it properly, we will run out of bandwidth to even do a commentary, and we'll lose viewership, and it's just not going to be a very effective stream.
I agree, honestly. And I'm really looking forward to this. I actually want to see what happens. I feel like there will be, knowing Among Us players, there's going to be a very big upset. There's going to be some mods involved, like trying to solve a situation.
Yeah.
There's going to be a few...
I mean, with attention from 5UP, like the legitimacy of the tournament and of the server has gone up quite a bit. So staff are paying attention. You know, there is a pretty big player base on Purple. I wouldn't be surprised if a good number of them tune in just to watch and see what's ranked all about. This is our chance to sort of showcase what ranked can be.
Do you have any predictions on any possible winners of the tournament? You know what? I'll put you on the spotlight.
So I'll also push back in the same way that you did, and the same way that when people ask me for my top 3 crew and top 3 imps and so on, I don't have that data in front of me. I don't want to rely on memory and be biased in that sense. I want to make like a really sort of calculated and informed assessment before I sort of say on stream that these particular players are the best. I mean, I can make a funny prediction about who I think would win, but that's not really like in the spirit of what you're asking.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think here's the pithy answer. The real winner of this tournament will be the viewers.
I think the real winner of this tournament will be the moderation team once the tournament is done and they can relax.
That's true as well, right? Like there should be some sort of staff event after the fact like a morale event. I'd love it if we were all in the same country, let alone same city.
Yeah.
You know, we could go get a beer together, or like go.
If it was in the same city, we would just run a LAN Among Us tournament. Which
Can
I
you
think would be so much
imagine?
better.
Oh man, we
Imagine
could.
a LAN Among Us tournament. That'd be crazy.
We could have like food. We could do go-karts. We could just party. It would be incredible. Yeah.
Yes.
The dream.
Well, one can only dream.
Yes.
What can we say?
Well, Drooler, this has been a like fantastic conversation. I think it is a good time to wind down. Do you have any closing thoughts for the stream?
No, honestly, as I was saying, I'm just really ecstatic to watch the tournament. I'm really, really excited to stream it alongside you, Pax, and hopefully Nate. And I don't know. I still think it's gonna be an upset, like as in like someone not random, but someone unexpected is gonna take it.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I think that's very valid. Yes,
really
tell me.
Stuff, and I want to say Ken is ass. That's all I wanted to say.
Oh man,
That's just me.
that is just so.
I had to throw it in there.
So unfortunate, but I guess everyone has their opinion.
No, it's a running meme.
Running
I
meme.
mean, it's not.
See, I know that you're saying it in the spirit of a joke, and I hope that Ken knows that we all love him. Like, this is not to hate on any particular person.
No, 100%. Like as I said, like regardless whether I like or hate someone, I'm not gonna purposefully bash them or tell others to bash them. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it's a running meme, it's a running meme. Nothing serious to be taken.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and wind down. We're gonna raid with our relatively modest 4 viewers. Does anyone have sort of suggestion? Where should we raid? Drooler, do you have any particular people you'd like to raid?
I don't really watch streamers. Bricknick109 is the only streamer I watch and support.
Oh, very good. Well then, let's raid our good friend 5up.
Okay.
Very cool.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for your time.
Lovely.
Look forward to casting with you.
Alright, you too.
Take care. Okay, Twitch. 5up is indeed streaming. He's playing Valorant, but just to thank him for all that he's given to our community, we're going to go ahead and raid. So let me pull up my dashboard. Still pretty noob at doing that, so give me a minute. Bear with me. Okay. Channel. Create a dashboard. There we go. Raid channel. Alright, 5up. Enjoy. Okay, so looks like he lost the game of Valorant and is probably taking a break, but thanks everyone for tuning in, and share some love for 5up, the greatest imposter of all time. GG's.